into the gears here
Yeah.
that kind of make things run. And we've got about roughly 10 or 15 minutes here. We'll try to touch on some of these. You know, but the four black gears at each of the compass points are kind of fundamental to this. So why don't we start with the top one? We touched on this some of time sharing, and work our way around, and then we'll get to the other gears that will.
Yeah, so as I mentioned, time banking is mutual credit. We
Okay.
essentially just exchange credits for the exact amount of time we help spending, or we spend helping each other, and that marks the transactions that happen. So it's exactly as abundant as you need it to be. If you need some work done, you just go minus in your account the exact many hours of work that you need, and you earn it back later.
I'm going to stop us there, and we'll try to just keep these explanations relatively concise. We can fill in the blanks later, or encourage people again to come to that website, which is Mutual Aid Network, or the Dane County Time Bank site is.
Yeah, DaneCountyTimeBank.org.
Okay, so those are places you can find out more. We keep going around the clock here. Price-based mutual credit. How does that figure in?
So time banking is great for things that are totally abundant. We don't put a price on it. It's all valued equally. Price-based mutual credit operates virtually the same way, but you have a dollar amount on it. So it's good in businesses. So for example, my coffee house can buy a cooler from your business that's part of the network for $1,000 worth of credits. So I give you the credits in your accounts. I owe that back in goods and services to other members of the network, but we pay the taxes on it as though it was a cash exchange. So we stay nice and clean and legal with the IRS, and we don't get time banking mixed up with pricing, but we have more liquidity, so it supports local businesses and helps ameliorate the disadvantage you're at as a local business. Gives you more liquidity, but it's still competitive. You still price things. You still pay the taxes.
Okay. The community saving, lending, and investing.
And this is what we based on the JAK Cooperative Bank in Sweden, but there's also Mission Asset Fund in San Francisco, giving and lending circles. Very simple level. People can choose to put their savings in a pool. You save a certain amount of time, you're eligible for a no-interest loan, or you could get a grant for your work or for a project, and that's what the cooperative that runs that pool determines the policies for that. We can also create a situation where people invest right in a community, so a donor can give money right to a neighborhood mutual aid network and know that group has the tools they need to identify the work that they want to be done, to compensate each other to do it, and to bring in outside people when they want to and when they choose to.
And then the last of the four major ones is sharing.
And sharing we put in here because we realized that a lot of when we talk about alternative economic mechanisms and complementary currencies, we're transacting so much and we're assuming individual private ownership, and we need to start really creating more of a commons and really really understand that sharing is best. If we so shared resources can be really simple, like you have tubs of baby clothes that everyone can access when they have a baby that's that size, or a tool library, slightly less simple, or more complicated like a maker space, like our maker space of Sector 67 here. So areas where you have shared equipment and you can build shared resources together.
So let's go to the kind of the outer tier, the smaller gears that intersect with these major gears. So to start with, the upper right-hand corner, robust budgeting.
So these gears are the processes that help those tools turn into something real for people and projects. So robust budgeting, we simply mean making very explicit budgets for people or projects that show what your real needs are. So it might be energy, housing, childcare, leisure, entertainment, travel, investment in the future, like very explicit things. And then your money line, what's that cost you now? But a budget that takes that over the course of 3 years and shows how you can reduce the money line by building up these other supports. Maybe your childcare line goes down because you're building up a very robust neighborhood time bank childcare network. Your energy line might go down participating in a conservation effort. Then it might turn into an income stream because you create a solar co-op and start generating income. So just really helping people develop a budget that doesn't have money as its only resource, and just get explicit for people about how these things can really meet your needs.
Okay. And then going around to the lower right, project facilitation assistance.
So I mentioned some of this earlier when I was talking about Deborah Free's Walk Out, Walk On, Art of Hosting, and Berkana Institute, and essentially just providing people the tools they need and technical assistance. So it could be other people from other mutual aid networks. So you know how you bring your group together, whoever it is in your community, and you identify your goals, and you identify how you want to work toward them, and you get that work taken care of, however you choose to do it, commissioning from people outside your group, commissioning people from inside the group, just helping people know how to realize their vision.
Okay. And at lower left, the community investment assistance.
So that would be helping people understand how you create one of these community saving, lending, and investment pools and how you interact with it. So we are going to create a lot of different template agreements for different types of purposes that people can use, but also work on the social processes, on the governance mechanisms, because of course when you bring money into something, things are going to get trickier and things are likely to be more tense with people because it is still scarce. So we want to have very good policies for governance and agreements about how you manage that and how you bring money into it.
All of this very daunting for people, but again, the key is there's information out there, there's ways we can learn from each other.
We hold each other's hands. That's
Absolutely.
The whole point. Yeah, I haven't done it before. I'm terrified of it. So I'm looking forward to someone coming to hold our hands.
So the last we want to touch on is at the upper left. It's work redesign assistance.
And again, this is just to really help people see their way to being whole people. And just realizing how much we grow up in this society having the creativity drilled out of us. We're told what to do at school, we're told what to do in college, we're told what to do at our job. And so really just helping people get back to a point where they are free to dream of what they want to do and help people just identify, maybe you love your professional work and you love to use that skill, but maybe you'd like to do it for 20 hours a week instead of 40.
Yeah.
And then help people see, so what else would you like to do? How would you like to serve your neighborhood? Do you have family members or neighbors with disabilities who could use care? Is there some infrastructure in your neighborhood you can help create? How do you want to apply your creativity? And help people then see what resources you can bring in for each of those things and how to make it meet your needs. I do want to mention, because I forgot to say it out loud, the mission of the Maine Mutual Aid Network, just because I like it, it's very straightforward. The mission is to create means for everyone to discover and succeed in work they want to do with the support of their community.
So mutualaidnetwork.org is a website. Again, there'll be more and more information there as we go along. We're doing webinars that people can find out about. We can find ways to tie them in that way. There's a real-world connection that's going to happen at the end of August.
Yes.
Could you elaborate briefly on that?
Yes, we're bringing people from around the world for the Man Up Summit, August 20th to 28th here in Madison. So we will have visitors from Sweden teaching us how to set up our cooperative saving and investment accounts, the UK teaching us in depth about sociocracy, Detroit and St. Louis and Madison, people talking about how we collaborate on community justice efforts that can really provide the creative destruction of the prison industrial complex here. We will have a wonderful visitor from Nigeria. We're inviting a bunch of our illustrious advisory board members. So August 20th to 28th, and we will be learning, collaborating. We'll do a big public launch of this. Our software programmers are coming from France to work with us to really make it serve our needs. So it's going to be a really good time for people to really immerse themselves. Oh yes, and we're also going to create a Man Up simulation game.
Okay.
So we can practice what this feels like and how we actually do it in real life and just really get our feet wet.